I know that this is a lot. It's very important for me to be honest with all of you. The thing that hurts me the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation is owed over $500,000 from VShojo.
In a world that is as cruel as it is deceitful, tragedy is ignored in pursuit of a happy mind. Those who seek more venture beyond the veil. They venture into the vortex.
Ironmouse just made a really sad video.
Every time I put my trust in people, it always ends in grief for me.
VTuber Agencies.
It put a lot of pressure and a lot of stress on me to the point where I felt guilt-tripped into signing.
They are extraordinarily corrupt.
I have lived my life chronically ill.
I think the agencies in this space are exploitative and they treat their talent more like prisoners.
I am leaving VShojo.
A year later,
I have been misled by VShojo.
they didn't donate $500,000 for a year.
On July 21st, 2025, Ironmouse, one of Twitch's most subscribed to streamers, who uses a virtual model to stream a niche of content creation called VTubers, denounced the agency she signed to, VShojo, the most influential VTuber agency in the West.
I am leaving VShojo. Unfortunately, I recently found out that for the past couple of months, I have been misled by VShojo.
In the corner of the internet where VTubing comforts and creates community, Ironmouse shook the entire industry with a single video. She broke the ice and cracked open the cold, hard truth of the VTuber industry's dark underbelly, that VTuber agencies often exploit their talent.
I would always be told how important I was for the company, and I was always told that I was needed in order for the company to succeed. It put a lot of pressure and a lot of stress on me to the point where I felt guilt-tripped into signing. Decided that I wanted to try to start pulling out my remaining funds because I wanted to start taking over my own finances. This is what led me to this point.
Ironmouse's virtual model spoke to the camera in tandem with her high-pitched voice. Even if you could only see the virtual model in the video expose, you could sense Ironmouse's devastation. She explained how VShojo blindsided her and stabbed her in the back, taking her money alongside a charity's, even though she was one of their most valued creators.
I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the thing that hurts me the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I'm here today, is owed over $500,000 from VShojo.
Rapidly, more and more VTube content creators came forward with their truth.
I have officially left VShojo, which is insane to say. I recently found out that VShojo owes me a good amount of unpaid debt. I also have other reasons that I was advised not to get into or say too much of as of now. So I'm sorry if I can't talk about that.
Because VShojo hasn't paid a significant amount of money to me too.
So, I have made the decision that I am leaving VShojo. VShojo owes me significant amount of unpaid debt that I haven't been paying in a long time.
One after another until boom, the entire illusion of VShojo and VTuber agencies completely shattered.
For a while now, I have bah-humbugged VTuber agencies. I've seen a lot of the contracts that some of the top talent were locked into with these organizations, and they are extraordinarily corrupt. I think the agencies in this space are exploitative and they treat their talent more like prisoners.
The agency VShojo lost value, worth, and reputation overnight, and the entire VTuber fan base came together to support VTuber creators and take down a corrupt agency.
Some really good people have been leaving VShojo, and now Ironmouse have dropped this video about some very alleged scummy practices here at the VShojo corporate level, and I don't know how VShojo recovers from it going forward.
Ironmouse, VTube creators, and VShojo reminds me of the story of David versus Goliath. David versus Goliath symbolizes an underdog story in media. Many may know the story through having to sit through it in early childhood Bible readings, while others are familiar with the David versus Goliath season of Survivor, featuring Mike White, who later went on to make the show White Lotus.
In the sand, but we're gonna start.
I'll find it.
Thank you.
Clue. Where's the clue?
I think it's at the treetops. You know, really use the manpower to find my idol.
Find the clue.
Ow.
Ow. They're idiots.
Can you hold it for me?
Good luck.
But I digress because this video isn't about my undying love for Survivor. In this story, Goliath, who's a giant with greater power, comes to take David's people's land. David is small, some would depict him as weak, and all he has to defend himself is a sling and a stone. Yet when David and Goliath fight for the land or kingdom, David wins. And if you're wondering what land they fought over, well, here's the ironic part. Sometimes Davids in time become Goliaths themselves, and the cycle repeats. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm not a history channel. And what were we talking about again? Oh, right. VTubers and VTuber agencies.
I know people like to talk about VTubing as a whole, like it's some kind of niche that's not mainstream. That couldn't be further from the truth. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it is so lucrative. And these agencies have swooped in and made sure they are the ones getting the lion's share of that money, and they'll kind of trickle down, drip feed a little milk from their titties to the talent that's under their umbrella.
So how do VTubers themselves mirror David and VTuber agencies mirror Goliath? Agencies control many VTubers and act faceless and in the shadows, and much of what they do behind the scenes is completely unknown to the public. Yet over time, VTuber agencies became a Goliath, controlling and dominating the VTuber scene.
To give you an idea of just how much VTubing had blown up, when Nijisanji first went public on the Japanese stock market, it was valued at $1.1 billion. Yes, a VTuber agency valued at $1.1 billion. These are not rookie numbers by any means.
For the most part, if you wanted to make it big as a VTuber, you needed the help of an agency. Of course, you could go indie as opposed to corporate, indie being someone who makes content on their own, and corporate being someone who signs with an agency. But many of the biggest streamers had a major agency's help, or they debuted essentially launching their career under an agency. So VTubers relied on the agencies, the industry giants, as the VTubers themselves became David, at the mercy of the agencies financially, creatively. No one represents this more than Ironmouse and her story, even as she broke records. At one point became the most subscribed to Twitch streamer, won various awards. The entire time, Ironmouse was dealing with something detrimental that made others see her as weak, helpless, or at the mercy of others.
I just really wanted people to treat me like a normal person. I don't want people to pity me. I don't want people to feel bad for me.
Ironmouse was determined to prove them wrong. Throughout the story of Ironmouse, I continually think of one consistent phrase. You are not determined by your weakest qualities, but the sum of all you can create. So who is Ironmouse, and how did she take down an industry Goliath? Ironmouse is a Puerto Rican opera singer.
Ironmouse is the alter ego of a Puerto Rican Twitch star who's kept her real identity anonymous and crafted an elaborate backstory in service of her online persona.
Though VTubers often have a reputation online of the followers essentially thirsting over the VTuber models, it's also been noted that there's been corners online of VTubing that have exhibited bigotry. Just like if you're familiar with the world of anime, there's some spaces of anime fandoms that are very questionable. The same could be said with VTubing.
The more I look into VTubing, the more I'm like surprised at how shocked I am. Here is another Vice article, bigotry in VTubing, which I gotta say, after having certain conversations with a couple of VTubers on my Twitter, it does make sense when you realize this is part and parcel with the anime community.
I'm an anime fan myself and don't consider myself to be that way. So of course those fans aren't indicative of all fans and don't speak for all fans, and it is very sad that that exists in those spaces.
In VTuber culture, there's the concept of the getchikoi, of being really in love with the streamer, and some people get angry about a streamer having a significant other.
Also, because VTubers are essentially seen as anime girls online by some fans, at times there are specific fans who over-sexualize the VTubers, and it can lead towards extreme parasocialness rabbit holes. Even stalking, doxing, harassment
can be a literal lifesaver for people.
But, as with most fandoms in 2025, the world of VTubers is not without risk. While it may seem odd to worry about someone stalking a virtual entertainer, some VTubers have been doxxed or publicly exposed as the real-life person behind the virtual star. Stalking and doxing are worries for most public-facing figures these days, but VTubers say the anonymity and competition of the industry can make some fans go too far.
Again, this isn't indicative of the larger fandom of VTubers. In fact, there's a large female fan base that loves VTubers and is inspired by them and their willingness to be free and open. When you look deeper into the content itself, it's easy to see why people would love it. The VTuber models take the concept of self-expression beyond the physical world, so you're able to become whoever you want without any limits or societal judgment. Ironmouse's model doesn't just have a specific appearance, but an extensive background and lore. The lore states that Ironmouse is a demon queen from the underworld who holds a deep affection for human culture.
The material world, Gaia, the earth itself, with its numerous mortal creatures. Ah, it was beautiful.
Behold, the queen of all demonkind, mistress of all sin, conqueror of the underworld, Satan!
Those are cool titles, huh, Booby?
She once discovered that she could sustain herself by absorbing human souls through the internet, the only energy source capable of sustaining her. However, she no longer consumes human souls, subsisting instead on the soul energy of her viewers.
And she wanted to have fun too, and one day, an accidental experiment led to a discovery. She could consume human soul energy in safe doses through the internet. Within this ever-changing, chaotic realm, there was plenty of friends to make, plenty of dreams to achieve. Nothing ever stayed the same. And finally, I was happy.
Mortal, I demand you bring me to your master, or I shall tear you apart limb from limb.
To remain in the human world, she wears silver bells on her neck, ankles, and sometimes in her hair, which limits her strength and allows her to maintain in a weaker form. According to her wiki page, Ironmouse has several aspirations. Because of her opera singing background, she wants to release a cover album as well as an album of original music. She wants to master new languages, particularly Japanese. She strives to experience life to the fullest, creating lasting memories, particularly with her collaborations with friends she's discovered through streaming. She hopes to be able to perform in full-body 3D alongside her friends.
How you doing, Ironmouse?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I think the people here want to hear you sing. Isn't that right, guys?
Oh yeah! This feels good! Hit it, sound guy! Walk through the fog and you'll find a little tree. In its branches are the many sides of me.
She also wants to host a virtual concert and dub an anime character.
As your queen, I demand you add that to your list of net... Booby. Run.
What likely makes Ironmouse's content so fun to many is that even though you're watching a virtual model, you get the sense that the person you're watching is truly excited to experience life in the virtual world, whether it's meeting people, learning new things, or collaborating on projects.
Guys, it's almost my birthday. What are we gonna do? We're gonna play Lego Fortnite for 20... No, we're not! We're not playing no Lego Fortnite for 20 hours!
Ironmouse also often incorporates her background as an opera singer into her projects. Her singing has often resulted in viral moments, like when she sang "When I Look at You."
When I look at you, what I always see is the face of someone else who once still I can hear him laugh.
Glitter and Be Gay.
Glitter and be gay, that's the point.
and Queen of the Night aria.
Oh, there's hope in this world. Beautiful flowers too.
During a stream, Ironmouse also jokingly sang the song Kuliki Taka, which was also a viral clip. Edits, clips, and cosplays featuring the video popped up on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Reddit. There was even a model created in VR chat that played the clip. Ironmouse was also the voice of Dormouse, Vikala's Shikigami, and Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising. So how did Ironmouse's online adventure begin? Ironmouse started creating content in 2017, 3 years before she joined VShojo, and 8 years before their big fallout. She first debuted on the platform YouNow.
I started streaming in 2017. I was a VTuber from the start. And at the time, I didn't even call myself a VTuber because when I would think of VTubing, I thought that it was like a Kizuna thing only. I thought, yeah, I thought that was like a word that she invented and it was just her, you know? So
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
was
even
just
call
for
myself.
her. Yeah, at
Yeah,
that
I didn't
time.
even call myself a VTuber at that time. I was just like, oh, I just stream with a body, with a model.
Ironmouse then created her Twitch and YouTube account in late September of 2017.
I started streaming in 2017. I never had a debut. I just started and I would stream to one person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people. You want to know when I started getting more than 50 people watching me? January 2020. I started in 2017.
Ironmouse has spoken numerous times about her extreme loneliness, leading to her deciding to make content. Ironmouse was isolated with little friends. Making content as a VTuber opened her up to a new world.
I originally started streaming because I was lonely and I wanted something to do, but I was very nervous and worried about being on camera because of my personal life. I decided that I wanted to stream because I was really lonely and I wanted to make friends. I did not feel comfortable being on camera. I don't know, I just did it because I wanted to make friends and I was just like really nervous to be on camera. Her favorite things became the internet, an invention she was extremely delighted over. She loved music and anime and games.
People on the Ironmouse subreddit also claimed that she had been streaming for 8 to 10 years before finding success. While she had a presence on Twitch earlier, Ironmouse didn't focus on the platform until 2020. Then, at that time, she met with others and learned about the world of VTubing.
She created her precious family, whom she loves very deeply. Who are totally not a cult. We are not a cult.
In my mind, I was like, oh, I'm just a girl using an anime avatar on the internet. But then as time went on, I started learning that there were other VTubers, and I guess I'm a VTuber too. I started developing the persona of Ironmouse, and she is me, but more like a coat. She's a bigger version of me, Ironmouse told the Washington Post. According to the Washington Post, Ironmouse's climb to sustainable success was slow, with her viewership numbers only really beginning to ascend towards Twitch's upper echelon in 2020 and 2021.
It was so hard to start streaming because I went from a life of doing nothing at all. I went from a life of doing nothing to saying, okay, well today I am going to stream. Then I started 2 hours of streaming. Then I was like, okay, well I'm gonna move around and let's see if that works. And then it was a slow climb. It was a slow climb. And 2017 was a very slow climb. And Roxy knows my slow climb. I never had a debut. Because I started a long time ago. 5 people, 10 people. Last year, 50 people for my birthday. And that was in 2020. And, you know, I love each and every stream. I'm just happy to be able to stream and to have fun and to spend time with people.
For those unfamiliar with the world of VTubers, this all may seem a bit bizarre, especially the models and how they work, since a VTuber's model is so integral to the VTuber's success.
So let's take a look behind the scenes of a VTube shoot from an independent content creator called Nico on Twitch so we can see how this works.
Okay, please. Yes, I would love to know more.
Hello!
Okay, hi. How's it going? So there's a lot of new people here today. You know, it'd be kind of cool to give you guys a quick tech demo of Code Miko. Hello, my brain is melting. Okay, well that's not good.
What? I want to do this. Wow, they can even show the whole entire body.
Well, how else do you think I got into this chair?
Oh my god, that is so interesting. It's so crazy how like realistic that looks. Like every little bit, like the blinks and the smiles.
The virtual creator's avatar isn't meant to resemble the performer, but embodies a distinct persona. A shared illusion invites both creator and audience to treat it as independent from its human counterpart. Essentially, an animated character existing in the real world, creating platform-native content.
Instead of broadcasting themselves, VTubers use elaborate, often customized digital avatars as stand-ins. With the help of real-time motion capture software, these avatars mirror creators' movements and lip-sync along with what they're saying, effectively functioning as digital marionettes. A VTuber can look like just about anything, and the medium has allowed for an explosion of imagination. While the trend first gained notoriety in Japan in the early and mid-2010s, today even some of the biggest Western live streaming personalities have debuted their own VTuber avatars.
Ironmouse was able to make her online dreams come true, all thanks to her VTuber models.
What are you looking at? Do I look funny to you? Do I look funny to you? Do I look strange to you? Is it something you've never seen before? Huh? I'm a nun. Hello. I'm a sister. Yes, Sister Mouse, it's me. I'm a nun, not just any type of nun. I'm a warrior nun. Do you like it? I think it's time to debut my TV!
According to the Ironmouse wiki, Ironmouse is famed for her exceptional number of VTuber models, and may even hold the record. While you can start VTubing using free software, the costs of the high-end or more elaborate models can add up quickly. Ironmouse's first 3D model was hardly ever used, because all of the equipment required was very physically demanding for her. The oldest recorded appearance of Ironmouse's Season 1 model is on the 12th of February 2020 for a Valentine's Day stream, which reached a peak of 69 viewers.
This message is just for fun. I forgot some letters of the alphabet. I forgot the letters U-R-A-Q-T. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
One of her most recognizable models is her Season 2 model. Ironmouse's second 3D model was much easier to use thanks to the implementation of iPhone tracking methods. This allowed for detailed eye and mouth tracking. Ironmouse's least expensive model cost $2,000. Her most expensive model was $15,000.
The cheapest model I've ever had was 2K. The most expensive model I've ever had was like no more than 20K.
How much is yours right now, the one I'm looking at?
I think this one was like 10.
Damn, how does it cost that much?
Well, you gotta pay for the artist, so the art costs a set amount, and then the artist has to cut the model into different shapes so that the person who's rigging the model can make it move.
Ironmouse had said in an interview that she spent $1,500 on her first model, and noted that that investment really put the pressure on her to become successful in streaming.
My first model cost me $1,500, I think.
Oh my gosh.
I saved up for a year for that model.
Oh, damn.
And there you go, look at you now.
It took me a year to get that money.
That was an investment,
I was like, I could finally pay to get it. Yeah, I was just like, I can't believe I'm spending this on that. Like, I was like, I can't tell my mom this. She's gonna kill me. I was just like, I really hope that, like, this works out.
VTubers are still a fairly new concept in the world of content creation. Even the term VTuber was coined in late 2016 by famous VTuber Kazuna Ai.
Regarding Ai-chan, Hi, domo! She started in 2016. Now, at this time, streaming was not that common. It was all purely videos, skits. And Kazuna Ai, at first when she was created or revealed to the world essentially, people actually thought she was an AI. She was like, is Kazuna Ai an AI? I mean, it's in her name. And people had to correct them or like, no, it's just an anime girl. She just be like this. So she coined the term VTuber. And keep this in mind because this word is very important. Because the terminology has evolved to include a lot more now. It is kind of like an umbrella. So that was the start of things.
Many people trace their first exposure to VTubing to a digital idol created in 2016 by the company Activate and voiced by Nozomi Kasuga.
She's not I.
I'd say my first introduction to VTubing was accidentally running into Kizuna Ai.
I've known about VTubing since Kizuna Ai's early days. Kizuna Ai was inspired by two main things. First, idol culture. Second, Vocaloids like Hatsune Miku, which was released in 2007. So Kizuna Ai was the first big VTuber, and actually the one to coin the term VTuber. Even further back, some sources on the internet actually cite the start of VTubing with Ami Yamato, whose first video was in 2011.
Kizuna Ai is known as the first VTuber. Her channel was created in 2016 by Japanese company Active 8. Kizuna took an indefinite hiatus in 2022, but returned to VTubing in 2025 and is creating music.
Did you hear the news? Kizuna Ai is back. The queen is back. A celebration for the queen. And I remember Nyan did a concert with Kizuna Ai, and I cried because I was so proud. I was like, oh my god, she did a concert with Kizuna Ai. And then we did the stream with Kizuna Ai, and now she's back.
But since then, the concept of VTubers has completely exploded. As of February 2025, 16 out of 20 of the channels with the highest paid super chat revenue, the paid chats on live streams, are VTuber channels. Why is this? What fuels the high engagement and virality aspect of VTubing? VTubing has created a way, essentially, for the audience to feel just as engaged with the content itself as the VTuber. VTubers thrive on accessibility and direct interaction. This dynamic fosters a community that is both inclusive and engaging, and this could mark a new era of relation between content creators and their audience.
Like many VTuber fans, Yang often posts his own videos featuring their favorite avatars. These fan-made videos help VTubers reach new fans, and sometimes they also offer a personal connection as the VTubers reshare their fans' posts.
VTubers have complete freedom to craft their own personas, completely unconstrained by their real-world identity or appearance. This means that they can really experiment with bold, creative, or even exaggerated characteristics that might be really difficult for human influencers to pull off. If I began laughing maniacally or claiming to be an alien demon who subsists on the souls of my viewers, you might be entertained, but it might be equally off-putting. A Slate article discussed a study presented at the Association for Computing Machinery's Virtual Reality International Conference in 2020, which found that a key appeal of being a VTuber for many actors was the anonymity that came with the role, allowing for the maintenance of privacy in an age where modern celebrities rarely have access to it. And while multiple female VTube characters have turned out to be controlled by male actors,
Sexy little VTuber girl. I do have a question. What the?
this format offers females and non-binary streamers a safer, less invasive way to deliver content. I would also add that maybe VTubing offers a way for you to explore your gender and identity without in turn exposing your identity so publicly online. Through VTubing, fan bases are able to focus on the content creator and the content they're making instead of the identity that that person has and how that fits into the social hierarchy. You're not determined by your weakest qualities or the things that make you different, but by the sum of all you can create. That being said, those outside of the VTuber fan base, when confronted with VTuber models, have shown a lot of what I would personally characterize as borderline bigoted attitudes, claiming that the people behind the screen must either be ugly or a different gender than they're presenting themselves as, and that they're essentially hiding themselves behind this VTuber model.
Contrary to popular belief, many people think that I am, a man. Listen, I'm a demon. I can be whatever the f I want to be. But I'm a grill. My age is... My weight is... I hope it's not too much.
Here are some examples of Ironmouse's own comments.
Nah, you're telling me this bitch-ass VTuber surpassed Kai Cenat? God, you know these people are so ugly. Just sad how Sims donate to this crap. This is the bitch that broke Kai's record. I refuse to believe any of you are real human beings. Unless you have less than 60 IQ, no one in this chat is real. I've been watching this for 10 minutes and I want to kill myself. How do people watch this You weirdos. You'll never get on Kai's level. You guys know this is a fat guy, right?
Yet the VTubers' audience and fan bases themselves have been very supportive and welcoming, and the entire community that gets fostered is very inclusive. While I'm sure that many viewers engage with VTuber content for various reasons, it seems for the most part that viewers and fans are accepting of the individual identities or personalities that each VTuber curates online. And this has caused an explosion in VTuber viewership. By 2024, a sample of 300 VTubers earned a total of 15 billion views across videos, streams, and shorts. VTuber popularity is exploding, with Viverse reporting VTubers surpass real-life streamers in 2025. YouTube's own report stated, over the past 3 years, videos related to VTubers have averaged 50 billion views annually. While especially in the West, VTubers have been seen as a very niche space in corners of the internet, more and more the concept is becoming mainstream, with larger mainstream content creators frequently collaborating with VTubers.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Holy sh! This is crazy. How you doing?
See you, Iron? How you doing?
Oh, you're the star right now. What do you, I'm just here for the ride. Look at that. Yeah!
I'm not gonna lie. I feel good, man. Like,
Listen, it's a little scuffed right now, but that's part of the charm. That's what being a VTuber is all about. You have to
you know,
feel
I
the
just
stuff.
went to the portal, so it's very new.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna get used to it.
There was a Teens React video called Teens React to VTubers, where they showed a teenager a very odd clip of Ironmouse for some reason.
Is she good?
Please look respectfully. Well, what do you think? Oh, feet! Oh, feet! Sorry, feet! Do you like it? Do you like feet?
Super interesting, very out of the normal for me. Like I don't watch anime, but it's interesting to see where the direction of content is moving.
I will say that it also like distorts body image, obviously.
A teen points out something when it comes to the world of VTubers. The more popularized their characters become, the more dramatized their characters can be, the more it could possibly perpetuate very unrealistic beauty standards and body images. We've seen before certain cases where people become so wrapped up in a fantasy world online that they become very depressed when they can't become a part of that fantasy world, or they can't reintegrate back into reality. The same could probably be said if you immerse yourself too much in the world of VTubing and start to forget what real people look like, what real bodies look like, or if you start developing toxic beliefs about real bodies and real faces. Anthony Padilla also posted a video titled Spending a Day with VTubers, featuring Ironmouse.
Do you have like something with like jiggle physics tracking going on right now?
A what?
Jiggle physics?
From early 2020 to early 2022, Ironmouse's career rapidly took off. On May 15th, 2020, Ironmouse became a Twitch partner. She revealed her 3D model, modeled by Jnomu. On July 1st, she became a YouTube partner. Her Season 2 model was illustrated by Nia in 2021. By March 2021, on YouTube, Ironmouse hosted a 300,000 subscribers celebration stream.
Hola, todos, coño! Soy yo!
And announced her new 3D model. By May 14th, Ironmouse reached over 500,000 Twitch followers. On February 4th, 2022, Ironmouse began her first subathon over on Twitch, with a way for viewers to directly interact with the content and extend the length of the subathon, all based on their engagement. Each sub, gift sub, and every 500 bits, or $5 donated, would extend the stream duration by 15 seconds. Ironmouse ended up streaming continuously for days, with guest appearances, as well as highlight reels filing in while she was asleep. Ironmouse even tracked her model while she was sleeping, so she was on stream the entire time, besides maybe the occasional break or technical issue.
Shout out to the mods, good job.
Yeah, shout out to my mods. I'm sorry that I destroyed your life for a month. Oh god, I'm so kind of like in utter disbelief that this happened.
Yeah, I remember at the start you said it was gonna be like 2 or 3 days.
I did. I thought it was.
That was
gonna...
copium from the start there.
Yeah.
You know that was ridiculous. Come on.
During this subathon on February 15th, Ironmouse reached the major milestone of 1 million Twitch followers. Just over an hour later, she surpassed Katamina's record of over 73,000 Twitch subscribers and became the most subscribed to woman Twitch streamer. Her success only continued from there. By February 19th, Ironmouse held the title of the #1 currently subscribed streamer on Twitch, also securing her position as the #9 most subscribed streamer of all time.
I feel like every day I've been expressing how grateful I am, and every day I've been expressing that this month has been one of the greatest months of my life, and I am truly honored and I'm humbled that people decided to take time out of their life and watch me live my life online for a month. So thank you for joining me, and thank you for hanging out with me every day. I know people are very busy and people have things to do, and I know, I'm just some stupid idiot on the internet that you decided to hang out with, so thank you very much.
Ironmouse chose the name Precious Family for her viewers, making them feel a part of her content and her journey on her rise to success. Ironmouse preferred to do streaming as a VTuber over any other profession because behind the scenes she was dealing with something detrimental. Due to Ironmouse's health condition, her life has become restricted. Ironmouse has primary immunodeficiency, which has also been referred to by media and articles as common variable immunodeficiency, or CVID. Though I'm certainly not an expert, it seems that PID is sort of an umbrella term to describe a variety of immunodeficiencies, and CVID is a specific immunodeficiency that Ironmouse has, which is why the terms are often used interchangeably to describe Ironmouse's illness.
What about your health made it hard for you to feel normal earlier?
I was born with a genetic disease called CVID, a primary immune deficiency disease. My body doesn't make antibodies to fight against infection or bacteria. I have to be apart from people a lot because I catch things very, very easily. And because of that, I developed a lung condition, and I'm on a breathing an oxygen concentrator.
People with CVID are highly susceptible to infection from foreign invaders, such as bacteria and viruses, and often develop recurrent infections.
I have a lung disease, okay? I have a lung disease called MAC, and there are multiple types of strains that I have. Typically, a person can carry the bacteria of MAC, and they'll be fine. But a person with immune deficiency disease, the bacteria starts to get real bad, and it starts to eat away at you. You get a lot of symptoms that are similar to tuberculosis and stuff like that, a lot of coughing of blood, and weakness, and you feel like you're suffocating, that stuff, right? So when I first got it, I remember I used to have these horrible coughing fits where I would not stop coughing. And one time I coughed so hard that I cracked a rib. I fractured. Was it a fracture? I don't remember. It was something. I hurt myself. I was in the hospital for a long time.
So almost everyone with CVID will get recurrent infections. And these infections can affect multiple organ systems. The most common being the respiratory tract and the gastrointestinal tract.
It's because of this that throughout Ironmouse's life, she's had no option but to remain indoors and bedridden.
It's considered a rare disease, but when you think about it, CVID is the most common to have of primary immune deficiency diseases. There's over 150 primary immune deficiency diseases. There's so many of them. It's basically extreme decrease. That's my issue. An extreme decrease in IgG. Yeah, my issue is not that my immune system attacks me. It's that it doesn't know when to attack.
When she first began streaming, she couldn't even stream for long periods of time. However, thanks to her efforts, improved medication, and a general positive trend in her health, Ironmouse's number of hours streamed has steadily increased.
I used to hear the beeping of my machine all the time. Yeah, I have a noise gate now, so you can't hear him. The Geiger counter! I got a better oxygen concentrator, and it's not in my room. It's outside of my room, so you can't hear it go. I think even now you can't hear it going up my nose. You can't hear it, right? Can you hear it now?
Yes, I can definitely hear the faint humming of the machine.
So much oxygen. Are you on that 24/7? Life support? No, I'm not on life
Life support.
I'm not on life support. I hope one day there's no more shortage. And I hope science catches up so that maybe one day I could go out and meet all the friends that I've made. I would like to do that one day. I don't think it's possible, but maybe in the future.
Ironmouse's longtime friend, Connor, or Sea Dog, explains Ironmouse's sickness and how it's affected her work, especially in conjunction with the hate she's received online.
Mouse has been sick for a very long time with a multitude of illnesses, but the main one being primary immune deficiency. Primary immune deficiency is slightly different to autoimmune diseases that you might have heard about. Autoimmune diseases are where your immune system kind of attacks itself, whereas primary immune deficiency means that your immune system just doesn't work or doesn't work very well. Mouse was disabled for a very long time and has slowly started to regain the ability to walk thanks to being able to finally support premium healthcare. Yay, love America! So this meant the only human contact the mouse got was pretty much talking to her parents or very close family who she was kind of already adjusted to, and family who understood about the disease and took precautions. You can only imagine how crushingly lonely this must be.
Connor mentions how Ironmouse at one point needed a new medical bed, and her community came together and donated enough for her to have one in a few minutes. This was early on in her career and heartwarming because early on Ironmouse couldn't stream for multiple hours at a time and often had to stop to take her medication.
She asked her viewers if they'd be willing to donate towards that, and within minutes,
I don't like to call my bed my works, my bed. I don't like calling it my bed. It makes me feel very embarrassed. So I like to call my bed my workspace because that's where I am all the time.
And I think a lot of people forget that Mouse didn't used to stream long. Mouse used to only stream for like an hour or two at a time and then would go offline to take medication, but now feels comfortable enough to take the medication and still keep streaming, which I think is an amazing thing and something that the outpouring support has allowed her to do.
Seriously, despite all the hate Ironmouse gets, VTubing gave her so much opportunity. My illness stopped me from living for many years. Now I'm living my life to the fullest as an anime girl online. I never used to have dreams. I never used to aspire to do anything. I thought that was it for me. Now I have dreams and I will work hard to make those dreams come true. Yet viewers who are aware of her condition often express concern over Ironmouse and how she's doing during those longer streams. According to the Washington Post, this has led to a difficult dynamic. On one hand, Ironmouse appreciated their concern. On the other hand, she disliked being treated like a porcelain doll.
And what makes you embarrassed as you talk about that? Can you help me understand what makes that embarrassing for you?
My whole life, I've had to see people, live their life normally. And to me, I always felt like an outsider, like looking at other people living their life. And I've always felt kind of like stuck. I feel like society places like this pressure on us that we have to hit certain milestones and we have to be some type of person. And because of the fact that I have never hit those particular milestones, I feel kind of ashamed, and I think it's just because of the pressures of society. It's really nice to have somebody treat me normally. I'm so used to like my family treating me like that because I know that they love me, but I just really wanted people to treat me like a normal person. I don't want people to pity me. I don't want people to feel bad for me.
In this interview, Ironmouse discusses how she used to not talk about her health issues because she wanted to be seen as a normal person.
I never used to talk about my health issues before. I was always very nervous. I just really wanted to be friends and talk to different people, and I didn't really think I was particularly interesting.
Ironmouse explains that VTubing is a way for her to feel normal, to find community, and be free of the expectations of society, which can be particularly strong for someone living with chronic illness.
I like to say I'm not a normal human. I've always felt like an alien. I've talked to other people that have like chronic illness as well, and they've shared a similar viewpoint to mine.
In Ironmouse's personal life, this was how everyone defined her, but VTubing gave her an opportunity to be seen differently, a way to actualize everything she dreamed up despite living with PID. You're not determined by your weakest qualities, but the sum of all you can create. On top of being able to escape from everyday problems living with her illness, Ironmouse's income from streaming allowed her to get better access to healthcare, which also allowed her to do marathon streams or subathons, and this further resulted in her breakout records.
Because I finally was able to start, making money streaming, which I never used to do. I was able to afford better medical care for myself, and I've slowly been improving in my health because of that, and it's thanks to my community. So I'm just very grateful. Kind of like happened so fast that it just feels like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ironmouse's story of living with PID and still being able to do VTubing opens up a discussion of how VTubing may be accessible influencing. Sometimes it feels like influencing is often for the very privileged in society. Not always, but for certain content, you have to have a ton of resources at your disposal. And it can be more challenging to start with little resources. At least I initially felt that way. On top of that, you see very little major influencers who have disabilities. Why is that? And you often see very wealthy influencers who come from wealth who are able to travel to the most glamorous places, vlog it, share it online. Especially in the early days of Instagram, that orange filter particularly highlighted the blonde and tanned people. And when you think about it, VTubing essentially strips all of that away. Besides how expensive it can be for the models, everyone starts at the same place. Your background doesn't matter. What you're dealing with in your personal life, your illnesses, your disabilities doesn't matter in the world of VTubing. When people have commented that Ironmouse's voice sounds strange, others have come to her defense. She has a breathing tube most of the time. She's pointed this out multiple times, that one of her main insecurities while streaming is that people might hear her tube live on stream, and it might get in the way of what she wants the stream experience to be. In interviews, Ironmouse has stated that her cutesy, high-pitched voice is actually a result of her illness, which causes a strain on one's voice, which I'm sure could be even more distressing if you're an opera singer. Because of this, Ironmouse faced judgment or people thinking differently of her for years.
Yo, is this your real voice? Yeah, it is. Sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Yet VTubing was an aspect where Ironmouse was able to utilize this part of her illness and maybe even incorporate it into her character, instead of having it be a constant reminder of her condition. Yet other creators have publicly felt very differently when it comes to VTubing. According to the Washington Post, a controversial streamer, Quinn69 Crawford, went on a rant about how VTubers are cheating because they don't need to do anything to look presentable. I mean, I wish I thought of that. Do you know how long it took for me to get ready for this video or to set up this set, work through all the different kinks?
They're just cheating. They don't even need to do anything to look good. They just have to pretend to be 13 and put on some fake cringe voice and just create parasocial relationships with desperate fucking weebs who can't get a fucking girlfriend in real life because they're pathetic. But anyway, alright.
I mean, it feels like a lot of content creators do that. Yet after his rant, Ironmouse's chat was filled with hate.
Just a week after Ironmouse concluded her marathon stream, a controversial streamer named Quinn69 went on a rant about how VTubers are cheating because they don't need to do anything to look presentable. Not long after, Twitch users who shared similar views deluged Ironmouse's chat with hateful messages, a practice known as a hate raid on Twitch. Ironmouse, however, doesn't think what she does is all that different.
There's people that don't use their camera. There's people that use like a PNG. There's people who are VTubers. There's people who use their cameras. At the end of the day, we're all just streaming.
Connor, or Sea-Dog, speaks about other hate Ironmouse has received.
For example, in 2022, a massive TikTok creator, Noah Glenn Carter, made a video mocking the fact that people wanted to meet Mouse virtually.
This might be the saddest video on the internet. So I want you to take a look at all these people. They were all trying to get the attention of a monitor. Basically, that's a popular VTuber on the monitor that was virtually attending an anime convention. And this whole crowd of people were following the monitor in hopes that they could get a picture with it.
Now, obviously, you and I know that Mouse can't leave her room, and this is the only way that Mouse can walk around a convention or see any of her viewers, or any of those viewers can talk to Mouse. It's a rare experience for everyone involved, and an amazing feat of technology that we can even do anything like this. And to his credit, he did apologize.
This is an apology to a creator called Ironmouse because of this video. Now, in my video on this, I called the video one of the saddest videos on the internet, which is completely unnecessary on my part. And Ironmouse actually responded, clarifying that the people weren't even crowding her, but instead they were crowding somebody named Connor that was there. I'm really sorry to you, Ironmouse, if you're watching. My video was completely unnecessary. I really hope that my video didn't cause you any kind of negativity or anything. And again, I am so sorry if it did.
Yet not only does Ironmouse seem unfazed, but she continues to be laser focused on her dreams and the causes that she's working towards. Throughout her career, Ironmouse actively dedicates herself to charity work and sees CVID awareness, advocating, spreading awareness, and contributing large donations to organizations that help those with CVID.
That event was so good, and it was so nice to see videos of other people going through a similar situation as me, people going through their life, living their life with a primary immune deficiency disease. You know, donate plasma, it's really important. I wanted to say it when I was up on the stage, but I was so nervous.
On August 5th, 2021, Ironmouse celebrated her 4th anniversary as a content creator, holding an 11-hour charity fundraiser.
What? Oh my god.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you all so much. What in the world?
She promoted the plasma donation website plasmahero.org. The website was flooded with so many users at once that it went down temporarily. She also raised over $101,000 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is often referred to as the IDF, which could be seen as a different IDF. But if I refer to an IDF in this video, that stands for Immune Deficiency Foundation in this video. Maybe not in the next one we're gonna do on H3H3, but in this video, that's what I'm referring to. Ironmouse also hosted a massive charity subathon in which the stream duration would be extended by 13 seconds per subscription, 500-bit donation, or $5 donation, with all earnings, merchandise proceeds, and half of the subscriptions going to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. The event lasted a full month, and it featured guest appearances by numerous VTubers and streamers.
That reminds me of those people on Twitter and they're like, how come she's not donating 100% of the proceeds? And they, I have bills to pay. What do you think, I live off of air? The and I'm taking care of people. I have elderly parents I'm taking care of. Shut up.
On April 13th, 2025, Ironmouse was featured in the Immune Deficiency Foundation website for her contribution. And on May 1st, 2025, Ironmouse spoke to Congress advocating for CVID.
I went to Washington, D.C. today. Did you meet the president? No. For those of you that don't know, today was Advocacy Day. So I joined the Immune Deficiency Foundation along with, I think, like 150 people. And we all went to Washington, D.C. And basically, the Immune Deficiency Foundation asked me if I wanted to speak and tell my story. And I was hesitant at first, but I said yes because I like helping in any way I can. I'm not really a political girl. I'm not a politics girl. I really don't care about politics. But when it comes to stuff regarding immune deficiency, I spoke to a congressperson, I spoke to House representatives and their secretaries, you know, because some of them were very busy.
Ironmouse has an immune deficiency and has become an incredibly popular creator spreading awareness about that group of diseases, especially with Sea Dog's recent cyclothon, where they gathered over $1 million for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Now, from a politician's POV, this is something that can be used as a publicity move. Assign more funding to that cause, get a popular person personally involved with the subject in the same room with you, talk about it, and make it seem you genuinely care. Regardless of this being for publicity or not, it's funding for an important cause nonetheless. And honestly, a good thing Mouse has actually managed to gain this level of traction for the awareness. She was invited to go to the Capitol to share her story and experiences with the IDF, and one of their goals was to advocate for vaccination to protect vulnerable individuals with immune deficiencies. Ironmouse has continued to advocate for CVID and stream throughout her illness. From her actions, one would think that she's working towards something bigger, beyond the world of streaming, related to her illness, wanting to help others who lack the resources that she's been able to receive. Who knows how much change one streamer will be able to make simply by using their platform as much as possible.
Connor and I have both spent a ton of energy, time, and resources raising money for charity. And we're both so proud to be able to say that we've raised nearly $4 million for charity. They help people with primary immune deficiency diseases, or PI. The Immune Deficiency Foundation is a charity that is near and dear to my heart. When my health first started getting really bad, the Immune Deficiency Foundation helped me immensely.
Ironmouse isn't the only VTuber, even from the same agency, VShojo, who started streaming because of an illness. VTuber Giga, who left VShojo in June 2025 before everything blew up, quit a big tech job and started streaming full-time after finding out she had cancer. Though at the time she didn't know it was cancer. She streamed through her health getting worse. She decided to stream even though she had a good job in tech because she didn't think in the future she would be able to do her job.
So when people ask me, hey, why aren't you doing your old job? Like, I don't understand why you would quit like your really good tech job to be a streamer, because I wasn't gonna, in my mind, have my tech job anyway. So why not just stream, right? That's kind of where that came from. I didn't want to say it so morbidly before, you know what I mean? I didn't want to freak out chat before, but that's really what it was, you know? And it worked out, which was great.
She essentially thought she was going to die, so she quit her job and started streaming instead.
I thought I was going to die. All of my medical staff told me I probably was going to make it, so I quit my really good job and then just streamed and became anime, and then I miraculously did not die, and now I'm stuck in this body and I can't get out. Help. I'm gonna get back into like dancing. I'm gonna do dance content, stuff like that. Some stuff I won't be able to do, but I'm able to do a lot of it now, which is huge for me. I've come a very long way. This is like a big milestone, being able to stand up and do this and move around. The fact that I can like lift my leg again and stuff like that is really big.
As Ironmouse became larger and larger, she joined an agency, likely because she couldn't manage her growing career and platform all on her own. Toward the end of 2020, as Ironmouse's career explodes and VTubing becomes more prevalent in the West, a new, huge VTuber agency launches and latches onto Ironmouse, who became a founding member and necessary component to their success. On November 24th of 2020, VShojo launches in San Francisco, California, and Ironmouse is a part of the debut class. In tandem with joining VShojo, Ironmouse shifts her focus to Twitch and uploads her first YouTube video. Immediately, the success of her career explodes, and is associated with her joining VShojo.
I think one of the most wonderful things that I'm excited for is higher quality streams, because Jesus Christ, let's be real. I've been working on a potato. Like I said, nothing is changing. Nothing is changing. We're still the same. We're just united. United. Holding hands. Uncensored. Ooh. Uncensored hand holding. Oh my god, I get to hold hands with Neanders. Uncensored and silver and melody. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I was on stream.
But Ironmouse promised that
we're all f***ing free to do whatever the f*** we want. Doesn't that sound good? Jinx ain't change. Is change? Ain't change.
So what exactly is this mysterious VShojo agency that simultaneously boosted and devastated everything?
VShojo is the biggest Western VTuber agency, but do you know how they started? VShojo was founded by two people. They started out with a launch video posted on the 24th of November 2020.
VShojo was co-founded by Justin Ignacio, known as Gunrun in online spaces. Justin was an early employee at Twitch, and his work landed him on the Forbes 30 Under 30 list back in 2014. Not that I really trust the Forbes 30 Under 30 nowadays, but that's a story for another day. Because of Gunrun's background in Twitch, it seems that VShojo would have a deep understanding in the needs of content creators, especially in how to merge VTubing with live streaming in the West to meet all the growing demands content creators have in live streaming. Because of this, VShojo was pitched as an agency that was primarily creator first, and it claimed to grant more ownership to creators, especially since the VTubers they signed weren't debuting under the agency, but were content creators who were already established and already making content.
He would hold the position of Chief Operating Officer and would sometimes act as the Chief Financial Officer. Now, what really made VShojo special was the fact that their founding members were already very well established in the VTubing community as independent VTubers. This was completely different from corporations like Nijisanji and Hololive, with every talent starting from scratch with a new identity when they were hired there. Here you had 7 very prominent VTubers carrying over their identity into VShojo and having their already substantial communities follow them. The founding members were Nyaners, Zentreya, Ironmouse, Silverveil, Project Melody, Apricot Fruit, and Hime Hajime. A few months later, they would also add Veibe to their roster, another independent VTuber with a substantial community.
It seems that the main difference between VShojo and other existing VTuber agencies is that unlike major Japanese agencies who only debut original characters, VShojo simply recruited existing independent VTubers.
This talent roster was impressive as it contained some of the biggest English-speaking VTubers, as well as some new VTubers who the audience hadn't heard of before.
Yet something doesn't quite add up here. VShojo was a creator-first agency that was supposed to give creators a bigger piece of the pie. Yet the company went out and continually pitched to investors in order to get funding this idea of profitability. Additionally, the company was based in San Francisco, Silicon Valley area, which if you know anything about that area, you know that it's a bubble money pit where startups look for ways to drain money from venture capital funding while simultaneously pitching that they're the next big unicorn. And VShojo also went out and raised a ton of VC funding, raising $11 million in venture capital funding in 2022. So VShojo is claiming that it's going to give all of its money back to creators, yet simultaneously claiming to investors that it's going to make a ton of profit. Something's not right about that premise. It's like if you found out Robinhood wasn't stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, but instead was going to investment meetings, telling investors he's going to find a great return on all of their investments, taking that money from the rich, giving it to the poor until they become rich, and then saying, oh, now they're rich, stealing it back, giving it back to the investors who are now poor, if that makes any sense. And that, my friends, is kind of how a Ponzi scheme is born, too. Yet the concept of VShojo initially was a success. For a good minute, or a few years, depending on your concept of time, VShojo became one of the biggest VTuber agencies, and the biggest, possibly only Western-based VTuber agency. Beyond Justin or Gunrun's involvement in VShojo, who were the other players? Justin or Gunrun was VShojo's CEO.
So Gunrun, we're at the Winter Championship, MLG Winter Championship. Can you talk a little about what you're doing here this weekend for Twitch?
Oh, for Twitch? Not too much, I guess. So I'm just hanging out here at the Winter Championship. I want to meet everyone. I'm kind of doing that right now, which is growing, and I'm doing things that I would never imagine doing.
There was also Mountain Dew, a former content creator, VShojo co-founder, who was initially the CTO and then CMO.
Hey, what's up? It's Mountain Dew. If you don't know me, that's good.
You make videos and really funny things for the internet, I think is the most basic way to describe what you do.
I suppose.
There was also Daniel Sanders, COO. Though VTubers and VTuber agencies are new in the West, coming more and more into Western spaces, with VShojo debuting a booth at TwitchCon in 2022.
Whoa, wait, they have this is how they do meet and greet? That's actually so cool. Yeah, right? What is this?
It's for our VTubers. So when they're done here, we'll move them around the whole hall.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
that's so cool.
Gunrun.
Oh my god, you're Gunrun! I've never met you. That is...
Can
I give you a hug? You're a legend.
How's it going?
You're actually a legend. It's an honor to meet you.
And by April 2025, gaining 17 members with a combined 6.4 million followers on Twitch and 7.5 million subscribers on YouTube, the concept had already existed for a long time with pre-established norms, particularly in Japan, becoming widespread in Japan in the mid-2010s. The two major Japanese agencies, HoloLive and Nijisanji, debuted English-speaking channels in 2020, which sort of brought the concept of VTubing larger into the West.
Considered the world's largest VTuber talent agency, HoloLive has a roster of nearly 90 virtual entertainers under its brand umbrella. As of August 2025, HoloLive's various social channels had more than 97 million subscribers.
According to the rest of the world, most VTubers are essentially an extension of Japanese idol culture.
Ever since Kizuna Ai, VTubers were seen like idols. So these Japanese idol expectations came with being a VTuber when you worked for these two corporations. This meant that they owned everything, even your model. If you were to graduate, which is a Japanese idol way to say retire, then you wouldn't get to keep your model. You would lose your entire identity because it belongs to the corporation.
Idols are trained and signed by agencies who don't often pay idols very well and often have strict rules around what idols are allowed to share with the public. For example, many idols are not allowed to date publicly, though of course course, I don't want to offend anyone due to my lack of knowledge on the topic, as idol culture is not something I know extensively about.
Fandom is at heart a social practice. They tend to be fully aware that the VTuber avatar is a construction. In this sense, the VTuber avatar really can't betray them because it is already artificial in contrast to other kinds of idols. Whereas real idols, I think, are always held to impossible standards, but VTubers are already beyond the realm of the real.
Though it could be that VTubers often enter into really similar situations that idols do when they decide to join an agency.
The world of VTubers is complex and often shrouded in secrecy. Since agencies can own a character's intellectual property, the creators themselves often can't reference their former avatars by name when they move on to create a new VTuber.
So if that's the case, why would a VTuber who's a content creator that can create content from anywhere decide to join an agency?
Agency, an organization established to provide a particular service and promote another company, group, or individual for business operations. For countless years, this was the #1 coveted path for VTubing. Receiving the boost in exposure while receiving management support would give them a far better chance at a VTuber career than doing everything solo.
So I got a bit more lucky than most people do when it comes to VTuber agencies, as Sock's VTubing agency doesn't take any cut from Twitch or my donations, and they have a staff to help me with things like contacting artists for any projects we have, getting merch, getting sponsorships.
Becoming a VTuber means that at times, if you want your content to be a certain quality, you might have to invest a lot upfront financially, as opposed to someone who just makes content for fun, turns on a camera, and sees what happens. For example, when I first started making content, I would just film in my blue kitchen, record audio on my iPhone, and a really old camera I had when I was 12 years old that I think my parents got me for Christmas or a birthday. If I needed to pay $1,500 for my first model, as Ironmouse did, well, I would have simply not been able to at the time.
I have a model that costs... No, I can't say. It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm not gonna say which one it is.
Yeah, you don't have to say which one it is. You just say the price, right?
But I'll tell you, I have a model that the art costs $10K. And then the rigging was like almost $10K too, I think.
But how much did you spend on that first model? Do you remember, like, roughly, or like the range?
My first model cost me $1,500, I think.
Oh my god.
So the same as you.
Yeah.
Same as yours. Same as you, Connor.
Signing with an agency not only gives a VTuber a certain amount of legitimacy, it also gives them access to opportunities and connections. For example, just some of the things that an agency can give you access to are sponsorships, better advertising, collaboration opportunities, and nicer models, like when Ironmouse first joined VShojo and debuted a new model.
VTuber agency is a scam. I see this question a lot, and the short answer is no, they aren't. Being in an agency is very different from being an indie, though. I get a lot of help with my crazy ideas, but I also get the support of my manager, and there are so many cool people in the agency to make content with. I'm a social recluse normally, but since joining Lucid, I found myself being able to come out of my shell, and I find it easier to ask people if they want to make something cool together. Lucid lets me have 100% creative control over my content, and I get the final say on anything that goes on my platform. Also, good VTuber agencies help you get better equipment, and they can provide you with model upgrades and financial backing for bigger projects. So even though part of your earnings do go toward the company, they come back to you in so many different ways.
There's an explanation as to what an agency can provide from a study about income inequality in the VTubing space, which explains that VTubers, since their earliest days, are invented, manufactured, and actively promoted by corporate agencies for commercial interests. The agency essentially can own them, their model, all of their work. But the agency wouldn't exploit that for their own benefit, right? Especially not a creator-first agency. Even worse, at the top of the VTuber sphere, there's only a handful of agencies that control essentially the entire market. There was a study done on the streaming world and VTuber income inequality titled "Who Reaps All the Super Chats?" A large-scale analysis of income inequality in virtual YouTuber live streaming, which drew an analysis of over 1 million hours of live streams from over 1,900 VTubers over a period of 6 years. I'm sorry, but pause. Was this like a passion project study? Someone who just really loved watching VTubers and was like, let's turn this into a study. I'm gonna watch 1 million hours of VTuber live streams. You know, for work purposes. Here's what the study found. The VTuber community is increasingly monopolized by two agencies, driving financial disparity. Hololive and Niji Sanji monopolize the VTuber VTuber market by owning the most profitable VTubers. The dominance of these two agencies has been strengthened over the years. Agencies also cultivate a loyal fan base, loyal to the brand of the agency. To me, this is one of the wildest parts. These big, massive agencies, the Goliaths of the industry, developing a massive following, to the point that the VTubers don't have a chance going against the agencies.
I got what I needed to say out, so I'm gonna take the night to just let it sit, and I'll be back to working super hard. Thank you, everyone.
VTuber agencies can often be incredibly controlling. They often deal with the financials of VTuber streams, which means that the VTubers themselves don't often see the payment or have control over charity streams or how to pay their collaborators. To me, this is also wild. VTubers are dominating the content creation industry, topping the charts in so many categories, yet they themselves have little control over their own finances.
The thing about VTuber agencies is, if you sign a contract and debut under that agency, you don't own your VTuber model. The company owns the VTuber model. So if the company shuts down, like what Pixelink is doing right now, then you don't get to bring your model out of the company with you. Some VTuber agencies will allow you to buy out your VTuber model, which is the lesser of two evils, but it still sucks. Those 5 VTubers who have decided not to buy their VTuber model IP are basically abandoning their YouTube channels where they have wasted several years making content on, because the VTuber model IP is tied to their social media.
One would think with that much power and influence, they would at least be able to have control over their own career. In early 2024, one of the dominant Japanese agencies, Niji-sanji, fired the popular VTuber Selene Tatsuki after she was hospitalized following a attempt. Instead of giving her privacy for her mental health, they also went on a public attack.
Hi everyone, thank you for your patience during my absence. Myself and some others will be speaking about the recent situation in 30 minutes from now. Recent situation being the whole Selene Niji-sanji controversy. And of course, in the most robotic and dystopian way possible, most of the English branch VTubers retweeted or quoted this tweet. Hey everybody, we have something really important to talk about. Please give us your time if you can. Or while saying things like this, important. It would mean a lot if you could take a listen. Thank you. Now, I'm not sure that every VTuber retweeting this was told what the stream was going to be about. I think they were just told, guys, don't worry. Hey, we're going to solve everything. Just retweet this. Trust me. Everything's going to be water under the bridge.
Fox and Ike are also present here with me, and we would like to take some time to address the events surrounding Selene Tatsuki's contract termination.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
To preface, we have discussed with Anycolor staff and our legal team about what we are able to say. However, due to how sensitive the situation is, please do keep in mind that there are limits to what we're able to share. Both we, the livers, and the company have been affected deeply and are taking the situation very seriously. Everything that will be discussed has been approved by our lawyers or is based solely on our personal experiences.
According to an article from the Japan Times, Selene said that she was hospitalized due to a toxic work environment and bullying from within the company. Yet Niji-sanji told a different story, saying they let her go due to a breach in contract. They tweeted out that she breached contract because she didn't pay creators that she worked with. But at least one creator jumped to her defenses, saying Selene paid them personally through her PayPal. I just want to say that it was amazing working with Selene. She was very kind and responsive. She even paid out of her own personal PayPal account when the company hadn't paid me after months of waiting. Streamer Moist Critical spoke about how predatory the VTubing industry can be. In a video about the VShojo situation, he talked about how VTubing is a lucrative multi-billion-dollar industry, and the agencies involved essentially swooped in to ensure that they're getting majority of the profit instead of the VTubers themselves. Yet strangely, audiences who are fans of the VTubers are often fans of the agencies as well, and sometimes dislike when an agency is being spoken of in a negative way.
I know people like to talk about VTubing as a whole, like it's some kind of niche that's not mainstream. That couldn't be further from the truth. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it is so lucrative. And these agencies have swooped in and made sure they are the ones getting the lion's share of that money, and they'll kind of trickle down, drip feed a little milk from their titties to the talent that's under their umbrella. And what's even more disgusting is they fed people shit and gave them a taste for it, an acquired palate, normalizing their greed, where the talent, the ones that are actually gathering the audience, you know, the actual VTubers, they don't see most of the money that they bring in. The agency does. That includes merch. That includes their Twitch subs. That includes YouTube revenue. The agency is the one that's got their fingers in it, and the VTuber gets pieces of it.
To boil it all down, VTuber agencies are like something that you need in your life but is really bad for you. Like a credit card, or a car, or a mortgage, hairspray, coffee. Ironmouse's involvement with VShojo had its advantages and helped her in her streaming career, as questionable as VTuber agencies may be. Besides, VShojo was a creator-first agency, so it was different than other agencies, right?
VShojo can recruit talents and indies as well as debut them. And the thing that comes along with that is that you are able to design your own avatar rather than gamble on the agencies giving you a good or a bad one. You can also say or do whatever you want without really getting reprimanded. However, that in itself is also a negative.
Not only did working with VShojo give Ironmouse more resources, but it also allowed her to collaborate and meet others in the industry and begin working with them professionally on projects.
Talent freedom also means you have no restrictions to collab with anyone. The reason why VShojo has been able to compete with the likes of Hololive and Nijisanji isn't just because they're Twitch VTubing's biggest names even before VShojo was formed, but also because they set themselves up with partnerships and collabs with relevant people, including indies, VTuber agencies, and other popular content creators.
Ironmouse hosted Lewdcast, a weekly variety YouTuber podcast, along with Project Melody and Silverdale.
Favorite pizza toppings? Pizza! If it's pineapple, I'm breaking up with you guys.
Ew, get that away from me. Extra cheese and pepperonis.
Have you downloaded pizza before, Mel? Do you know what your favorite pizza toppings are?
Hawaiian pizza.
Wait, what?
Though the show is currently paused and it doesn't seem like it'll restart anytime soon. Ironmouse also hosted a talk show titled Speak of the Devil, with the first episode featuring Saikuno as a guest.
It was a
Is this a weird question?
No, it was just a
nickname.
Everybody would call me Mouse, right? Growing up, because I'm small. I'm 4'10", like IRL.
Oh, all right.
Ironmouse frequently collaborates with CDog VA, better known as Connor, who's one of the biggest Anitubers on YouTube, a YouTuber whose content focuses around anime and manga. Connor is also one of the hosts of the Trash Taste podcast.
But we are here today to play Starlight Revolver. Who's excited?
I'm excited!
Ironmouse and Connor are good friends, but also bicker or go back and forth, which makes for good comedic bits.
Okay, beans don't go with everything, right?
I mean, it seems like you guys think it does.
But no, beans don't go with everything, but there are a lot of uses for beans.
Yeah, but like, it's just you feel like beans go with everything, and you also seem to think that tuna goes with everything.
No, tuna goes with a lot of things, though. It goes on pizza.
No.
It goes on...
No, stop right there.
During her 4th anniversary stream, Connor cosplayed as Ironmouse. There's also a fanfic webtoon of Ironmouse and CDog called My Roommate is a Gremlin by Merely Mika. Ironmouse has even been able to do IRL travel streams and see parts of the world thanks to Connor, who takes her along on an iPad.
This is the Sega building where I filmed my Crane Game video in. Like that. We're not going to go in there though, just forward. Should we do an intro or not? I don't know what we should do.
Whatever. I don't know. Whatever we want. I feel like I'm gonna cry.
Xbox mic? You know how it is, boys.
Listen. I mean, what do they expect?
Look at them. They like my Xbox mic. I'm outside, guys. I only got my $1,000 mic.
Yeah, what the f***? He's outside. God.
Connor even did an IRL travel stream with Gunrun.
Sorry, I got my friend on the iPad. Is that okay?
So wait for your Pi Miles in the house.
VShojo also released its own webtoon featuring Ironmouse. Ironmouse collaborated with U2s to release merch. When looking up Ironmouse's merchandise, it seems like it could be found on a variety of mainstream sites, which I would hope she would get a profit from, with many figurines and plushies available of her different models. Though all of Ironmouse's clothing merchandise is currently sold out, likely due to the fallout with VShojo, personally, I really like the designs of the merch. It seemed well designed with cool artwork, and something that all genders could wear, which isn't exactly surprising considering Ironmouse seems to operate off of the general concepts of involving artists in a lot of her work and always being inclusive. Ironmouse collaborated with so many people, made so many friends, did so many things in the industry branching out beyond the world of streaming. She went from someone alone, completely isolated, feeling hopeless with little options in her life, to an entire world at her fingertips, with friendships, opportunities, and most of all, hope for a better and brighter future. You are not determined by your weakest qualities, but by the sum of all that you can create, the friendships and connections you can cultivate. Yet while Ironmouse continued to have success in her career and personal life, cracks began to show for VShojo. In May 2025, VShojo co-founder Mo Tendu announced that he's leaving the company, but it seems to be on good terms. And as Ironmouse worked with VShojo, she hit all-time highs in her career. As Ironmouse's career continued to progress in success, she won numerous streaming awards that reflected that success. Ironmouse won Content Creator of the Year at the Game Awards in 2023.
Ironmouse! So, Ironmouse couldn't be here tonight because Ironmouse is animated, and sadly, we're not in the Matrix yet. But she did send us a message. Take it away, Ironmouse.
I am so incredibly honored to have been the recipient of the Content Creator of the Year award. First and foremost, I want to express my deepest heartfelt gratitude to the incredible community that has gathered around my streams. And I also want to extend a very special thanks to VShojo, who brings all my ideas to life. Thank you so much to my team that helps me every single day. And thank you so much to the Game Awards. I still can't believe this is all happening. Thank you again, everybody.
She won Best VTuber at the Streamer Awards in 2023.
Ironmouse.
Can you guys hear me? Holy shit! I want to thank my community. I want to thank my friends. Thank you also, Connor, for bringing me up here. And thank you so much to VShojo and my family.
And Best VTuber at the Streamer Awards in 2024.
And the people goes to Ironmouse!
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
First off, I just want to say big thank you and to everybody here at the Streamer Awards.
Ironmouse also became the most watched female Twitch streamer in the year 2024, and she performed her own song at the Streamer Awards. CDawg reflected on how Ironmouse winning awards may have led to her receiving more hate, like when she won Creator of the Year in 2023, a year when she had donated large contributions to charity, broke numerous records, despite her illness and despite being bedridden. Yet she was still at the time the smallest creator who was nominated for the award.
By some sheer miracle, Mouse had won the award. It was a crazy achievement, and nobody expected Mouse to win, to be honest, because Mouse was by far the smallest creator out of the ones that were nominated. Obviously, these creators were massive, and a lot of their fans that are watching the Game Awards were a bit upset about Mouse winning the award. This has led to a constant, and I cannot preface this enough, a constant stream of hatred now that Mouse has had to deal with openly on all of her socials for years now.
On December 12th, Ironmouse was the first VTuber to partner with the company Razer.
I have a special announcement. It's official. It is official. I have merch coming out. And you might be wondering, hey, I wonder what kind of merch it is. Well, guys, finally, it is time to announce I have official merch with Razer.
On September 30th of 2024, Ironmouse passed Ludwig as the #2 all-time subscribed Twitch user, breaking his record of 283,066 Twitch subscribers. Ludwig himself contributed 200 gift subs. Around just 2 hours later, she reached #1 most subscribed Twitch streamer of all time, beating the record of 306,621 set by Kai Cenat in 2023. During the final hours of Ironmouse's subathon, she tearfully sang Frank Sinatra's My Way, signifying that though Ironmouse did everything much different than other streamers and content creators, she still broke the records. She did everything she set out to do. She just did it all her way.
I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way.
Ironmouse later thanked everyone for watching her and help her set the record.
Thank you for being my community, and thank you for being my rock, and thank you for giving me back my life, and thank you for helping me and people out there like me, and thank you for supporting your faves. Thank you guys so much. Thank you all very, very much.
The milestone was reported in articles by Complex and Rolling Stone. Kai later on went to beat the record and greatly surpass it, but it's still very impressive.
Ironmouse has always been top 5 all time. She's somebody I had to pass during my first subathon. Now, I know people are defensive. I know a lot of people defend me and shit like that. But Chad, if you actually looked at her stream and actually kept up with what she's doing, you feel what I'm saying? Not only was it for a good cause, but it was pretty well put together.
Ironmouse received other deals like an officially licensed Hatsune Miku. So it's a virtual girl cosplaying as a virtual girl? Yup. And on August 26th of this year, Ironmouse was named in Rolling Stone's top 25 most influential creators.
Alona, I love her so much. Ironmouse is a cartoon character. VTuber. She's a YouTuber, and she's anonymous. I've never seen that.
Like a virtual YouTuber?
They're taking my job. This is my last year. They're gonna take it.
No, because you're a storyteller.
Because I'm a storyteller, yeah.
Ironmouse was named top 25 most influential creators, breaking records. And yet, something was deeply wrong behind the scenes this entire time. Suddenly, Ironmouse cut ties with VShojo out of the blue. On July 21st, 2025, Ironmouse posted a video that stunned her entire fan base and the general public. She announced that she was leaving VShojo for good.
I am leaving VShojo. Unfortunately, I recently found out that for the past couple of months, I have been misled by VShojo.
At first, it was shocking when Ironmouse announced that she was parting ways with VShojo, which called itself a creator-first agency. Ironmouse hadn't often discussed much dissent between her and the agency, but Ironmouse explained further. She said that her decision was a result of VShojo withholding her pay. Not only was VShojo not paying her, but the most shocking thing of all was they didn't pay out a $500,000 donation from a charity stream she did.
With the information that I currently have, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the thing that hurts me the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I'm here today, is owed over $500,000 from VShojo.
Well, Ironmouse was instructed by her attorneys to wait until divulging every single detail regarding what transpired between her and VShojo.
I have been instructed by my attorney to wait for more of the legal procedure to unfold.
She did divulge in the details regarding the charity stream. The Immune Deficiency Foundation had not been paid a year later, a whole year after the charity stream took place.
My last subathon was one of the biggest events I've ever done. The support was overwhelming, and I ended up getting over 300,000 subscribers and breaking the all-time sub record. But this also meant that we had raised $515,000 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I once again asked VShojo to make the donation on my behalf, but unfortunately, still a year later, VShojo has not paid the charity.
Ironmouse claimed since the entire cause is so close to her heart, and she had been operating under the premise that she had donated to the cause, and that the money had already been paid out, the entire situation has completely broken her.
This entire situation has broken me. I just wanted to do something good and to give back to a community that helped me. As much as I would like to continue to talk about this, unfortunately, I can't.
It seems like to Ironmouse, the most heartbreaking, betraying aspect of all of this was VShojo not donating the money. Not only stabbing her in the back, but hurting a movement that she deeply cared for. Ironmouse is now an independent streamer with no agency representation. She ends her stream by promoting a Tiltify link, where your donations go directly to the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which will be linked in the description of this video as well.
As of right now, I am an independent VTuber. I also wanted to say that all the ad money made from this video will go towards the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
This is like Disney effing over Mickey Mouse. What a catastrophic look for a pro-talent company to not only be withholding funds from a charity, but also from the chronically ill streamer. It's common for media companies to often take years to turn a profit, and it's essential during these years to have very careful management of funds. And during that time, you essentially have to have continual investments flowing in. This is why most companies don't end up succeeding, or end up doing shady shiz to try and get by. On the low end, they lie about their projections to investors. On the high end, they mismanage funds, steal and cheat their way through. The founders could be telling themselves, hey, the ends justify the means. This is what everyone does. It's the name of the game. But ultimately, well, it's not normal. It's not good. And even if many people do it, doesn't mean you should. Especially if you founded your company off of giving back to creators. Like a dam bursting open, in just the following week of Ironmouse leaving VShojo and coming forward with her allegations, numerous other creators and members of VShojo came forward to tell their story of their experiences with VShojo. 3 days later, the VShojo CEO, Justin, aka Gunrun, announced that VShojo was closing down. VShojo has failed, and I've mismanaged the company into the situation you're all witnessing. So today, I am sharing the difficult news that VShojo is shutting down, and I take full responsibility for the decisions that led us to this point. I've been doing everything I can to fundraise and right the ship these past few months, but despite my efforts, we are in a worse position, and those I care about are now paying the price. Over the past few years, we raised around 11 million to pursue a bold, talent-first approach in VTubing, prioritizing creators and community over short-term profits to achieve long-term sustainability. Our funding went directly to our creators. We also wanted talent to own their IP, which we knew was a unique creator-first approach for an agency. However, despite all our efforts, the business failed to generate the revenue we needed to sustain that model, and eventually we ran out of money. Additionally, I acknowledge that some of the money spent by the company was raised in connection with talent activity, which I later learned was intended for a charitable initiative. Justin's talking about that as if it's an oopsies. I'm pretty sure any logic would show that it's incredibly immoral to use talent money for your own company funding, charity money or not. At the time, we were working hard to raise additional investment capital to cover our costs. We were unsuccessful in our fundraising efforts. I am deeply sorry to all the talents, staff, friends, and community members who believed in our brand. You did not deserve this. Also, Justin claiming that talent owning their own IP is a unique approach to an agency is wild to me personally. To me, that sounds like it should be the bare minimum. A creator is called a creator. Even so, all of Justin's claims that VShojo had worked hard to be a creator-first agency, is that even true in the first place? Let's listen to what other creators have to say. One by one, creators dropped from the agency like flies, disentangling from a dangerous spider's web. On July 22nd, OG founding member Project Melody, who even once spoke about being recruited by Gunrun to start the agency, and then recruiting Ironmouse into the agency in turn.
Since you're one of the people who sort of founded VShojo, right?
I was the founder.
You literally were, right? They say that you have a leadership role. How do you feel about that?
Maybe for 2 weeks. I debuted on a different site. That was the only thing I wanted to do. And then Gunrun reached out to me on Twitter the day that I was closing DMs. And he said, hey, I love what you're doing. Anime is awesome and, you know, and I like your vibe. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. And he's like, have you been on Twitch? Would you consider that? But then I accidentally ran into Mouse and I heard her talking about seeing someone on a train, and then she sang Ave Maria, and I said, her right there, she is the one. Yes.
Made a statement about leaving VShojo, saying, I waited to make a statement because I'm always anxious and struggle to find my words. But yes, I'm leaving VShojo. Member Michi Mochivi left as well and made a video statement.
Today, chat, I have officially left VShojo, which is insane to say. I'm not sure if VShojo will be announcing this publicly, due to everything that's been going on, I recently found out that VShojo owes me a good amount of unpaid debt. I also have other reasons that I was advised not to get into.
Associate Kuro Nai, I hope I said that right, made a statement saying, I didn't want to say anything until it's finalized, but since people keep making assumptions, no, I'm not staying here. I've already submitted a leave contract. Kason made a statement while streaming.
VShojo hasn't paid a significant amount of money to me too.
Hime Hajime also left. Haruka Karibu made a statement saying, I've left VShojo. It was in the works for a little bit, but it has escalated due to the recent news. Yutori and Okamoto left as well. Hestia Happiness, one of the original members, also left. Akatsuki left, and Henya the Genius posted a video explanation.
I have made the decision that I am leaving VShojo. Unfortunately, VShojo owes me significant amount of unpaid debt that I haven't been paying in a long time.
Many creators left it very vague about what went down between them and VShojo, possibly due to contracts in place, but the general consensus was pretty clear. VShojo owes them money. On July 23rd, Nyaners, a former VShojo member who left in 2023, had streamed about the Ironmouse situation. Nyaners claimed that they kept a lot to themselves before all of this had come to the surface.
There's just things like involved with streaming and like being part of companies. I'm sure you all know, especially now, that can make things very stressful behind the scenes, especially when you're not able to talk about it. There's just so much that I want to talk about. I'll be real. There's so much that I've kept to myself for literally years. And I've seen like a lot of people coming forward, and I'm really, I don't want to say proud. I don't want to say like that word because that kind of makes it feel condescending in a way. I don't mean it like that at all.
But their takeaway was that VShojo is essentially like any other corporation who would stoop incredibly low and screw over others all so they could reap the benefits.
Corporations, they're like an entity. They're a corporate entity. Sometimes they'll stoop so fucking low to do whatever they can to make more money off of people and take advantage of people. I just hope in light of all of this, like all this coming to light, more people will understand this like in general and like be less likely to fall victim.
Later on, a month after everything, on August 26th, co-founder of everything, Mountain Dew, which I think I said Mountain Dew earlier in this video, made a tweet and Google Doc explaining his level of involvement in VShojo's wrongdoings. While it's impossible to know how much of his statements are the truth and the extremity of his wrongdoings, the general takeaway from this lengthy Google document was Mountain Dew claimed that he was pushed out of the company early on by the other two co-founders or chief officers, with them often signing official documents as the only members, essentially icing him out completely without his awareness. Mountain Dew also claimed that once he was told to leave the company in May, it was because of financial reasons. The company was fully aware at that point that they weren't going to make it and were going under. So he was surprised when July came around and they still had yet to make any announcements or close their doors. When Ironmouse made her video and other creators came forward saying that the company was using creator funds, a company member claimed to Mountain Dew that this had been happening since 2024. Dew claimed that he had no awareness of this as a chief officer of the company. Do with that what you will. He posted a Discord message between himself and an alleged member of the company to supposedly prove that he had no awareness of the wrongdoings that were happening behind the scenes. And this Discord exchange is supposed to be the damning proof that he had no idea of the financial mismanagement. Can I get some context here, as this is the first I'm hearing about any of this? VShojo owes a lot of money to talents. I don't know when you were involved with the company, but it's been an ongoing known issue for a year, and the charity payment is related. You probably have more context than me, I suspect, but also I'm not sure what your relationship was with the company and when VShojo ran out of money some time ago and has been operating with what was supposed to be talent money, hence causing the current situation. I was never made aware of this being an issue from both CEO and COO. I was aware that there was financial issues, but not outstanding payment, especially for charity. Excuse me? Like I said, I don't know what your relationship is or was, or what your role was, but these issues have been ongoing for most of the past year, as far as I know. Since sometime 2024, you'll have to ask Justin. I've been here 3.5 weeks, so I'm just learning and navigating through this as best as I can. So Mountain Dew claimed that he was a perfect person in all of this who had complete ignorance to all of the wrongdoings. Yet, Mountain Dew has his own set of allegations from former VShojo VTubers, and the story gets even darker and more twisted. On July 24th, former VShojo VTuber Vey tweets out several allegations against VShojo, which shows just how exploitative the agency truly gets. And so our NDAs are now void. Why I left VShojo. Back in 2023, VShojo tried to bully me into one of the most predatory contracts that I've ever seen. When I tried to ask more about it, their COO got extremely hostile with me and refused to answer any of my questions. And so I had to hire a lawyer in order to get some clarification. During the talks, it became clear that VShojo would rather let me go than take less away from me. They were ultimately wanting me to give up more than half of all my sponsor revenue and over 50% of all merch sales. All I asked from them in return is to not take cut of the sponsors that I was getting through Mythic, as that cut was already being taken. They said no, they want it all. And so I asked to leave after being treated like I was disposable in our talks. They basically made it seem like they were my employer and that they're the reason for my success, that I owe them and I should be happy to give them my money. In order for me to leave, they demanded I sign an NDA that prevented me from speaking to any other talent about it. I could not say why I was leaving. I could not say what the terms that I was saying no to were. I even got in trouble for advising them to hire their own attorneys. They would watch my streams, read my Discord, and then threaten to sue me if I said anything that hinted towards how I really felt about the company. I was threatened with a lawsuit. Now for some fun facts. Their company lawyer has an expired law license. He literally does not practice law anymore, yet he was our point of contact for any legal help we needed. They actively pitted us against one another during my time there and compared our successes to others. MTD got reprimanded for being creepy to us. That's Mountain Dew. LOL, got told not to message us privately. Go figure. I have proof from other streamers attending their IRL parties that Mountain Dew would actively shiz talk me after I left the company to paint me in the worst light imaginable. Mountain Dew had the audacity to talk shiz about you to my face at a party the year that we all left and painted you as some kind of conniving, greedy mean girl who was in my ear and manipulated me into leaving. He got uncomfortably close and up in my face and was like, come on, I know the real reason you left. I know it was cause of Vey. For him to act like he's completely blameless is insulting. He's a creepy mother effer. When listening to the way those formerly involved in VShojo talk about the company, it reminds me of like a high school drama club with the creepy older teacher who has no sense of boundaries instead of a well-run company, which to me kind of sums up why the company failed. To add to that point, the pitch deck for VShojo, which the company used to try and pitch to investors, was leaked to the public and made its rounds online. And some of the statements made within the pitch deck appear just as ridiculous. Wifey and I got access to the recent VShojo pitch deck, and some of this stuff is really interesting. TDLR describes Gunrun as most well-connected Twitch staff, lost 2.5 million in 2024. Even with aggressive growth, they'd still not turn a profit. This includes plans to license out IP, uses the fact that they've raised over 1 million for charity to attract investment, unable to confirm if this includes the 500k unpaid. The pitch deck initially contained IRL photos of VShojo talent, which we've redacted. And it sounds like through the pitch deck that they essentially planned to update contracts to include IP licensing and essentially change the company entirely to not be talent first anymore, to essentially be as exploitative as possible. New IP licensing could contribute additional 2.3 million revenue. Gross margin improvement is driven by higher take rates in updated talent contracts and new IP licensing revenue segment, with IP licensing revenue included, on track to achieve profitability in Q4 2025. On July 26, a former VShojo employee, Alex Kiyoshi Pels, makes a statement on his LinkedIn confirming the validity of the pitch deck. Per Google Translate, the statement reads that he worked with the Japanese branch of the company. Because of this, he had little awareness of the mismanagement of the company, though the signs were there. I initially joined VShojo at a request to assist with fundraising, but during investment negotiations, crucial financial documents were not provided by upper management, which raised suspicions. Looking back, I understand that everything was intentionally hidden. There were many management concerns from an early stage, and the Japan branch manager and I explored the possibility of separating the management, but it was already too late. I am deeply disappointed in the series of events that have occurred at VShojo. Additionally, VShojo was refusing to release unsold merch to creators. Giga, former VShojo member, tweeted out, "I was informed the other night that even though I have an agreement signed between myself and the company that explicitly states that I am to receive any unsold or unfulfilled merch from VShojo, I likely won't be getting it anymore." Amelie also tweeted out, "VShojo merch, the same thing is happening to me. To make matters worse, a majority of my own merch was my property before ever joining VShojo." Giga also spoke about her time during VShojo and what she saw of the company. In Giga's experience, VShojo often spent beyond their means and brought in new talent when they didn't have the funds to bring in new people.
Things in my mind had not been going too well for them for a long while, and I felt that way for a long while. And then they wanted to bring people in, and I said, I don't know if we should be bringing anyone in when these issues are here. I got pretty much like silence as an answer.
While she tried to speak up, she was often dismissed by those in power.
My own manager, he and I would sit there in meetings and we'd go over my stuff for the week, and then I'd also go over like company stuff, you know, and I'd be like, hey, realistically, this thing should happen, then we should be doing this. This project here is not being done the way it should be, etc., etc. And I was just pushing stuff up the chain. And it was like once it went past that layer of like our managers, it like died. I don't know what happened to it.
That being said, even though Justin or Gunrun, the VShojo CEO, has made statements saying that VShojo is closing down, there still hasn't been many active official movements to move the company towards bankruptcy, which would probably help get the financials in order and return the money to the creators. One must wonder if this is because the situation is even worse than imagined, so it's being delayed for as long as possible. As of September 11th, Giga posted, "Just noting, since I'm seeing some related comments, as far as I and my lawyer are aware, the bankruptcy has not yet been filed. The company still exists as is, and I still have a normal agreement with them, as mentioned above." VShojo's original claim was that it was a company that would allow creators to own their IP. So once these 13 creators all left VShojo, they would all get their IP back, right? While most VTubers immediately continued on as independent VTubers with their intellectual property, VShojo Nova members claimed that discussions with VShojo were still ongoing regarding the release of their intellectual property, which is just mind-blowing and extremely hypocritical from an agency that claimed to be creator first and claimed to let creators own their IP, while creators were exposing VShojo and the company was imploding through its own actions coming to light. What was Ironmouse doing? Since VShojo took the funds for a cause she truly cared for, Ironmouse shifted focus to raising more money than ever before for the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
VShojo withheld like $500,000 of charity, another who knows how many dollars towards charity, or excuse me, towards Ironmouse herself. Ironmouse came out about all this. Had just a donation link in the description. Dude, within 24 hours, she has raised more money than was stolen.
While Ironmouse and her peers brought down VShojo, she simultaneously raised over $1.2 million for the Immune Deficiency Foundation in the process.
While the situation going on with Ironmouse, several other talents, and VShojo at large is terrible, the beautiful part is the charity that is being donated to in spite of all this, currently at $1.1 million and growing.
I'm so happy that our community is able to basically take a horrible event and turn it into something so positive, full of love, and so full of good vibes, happiness, love, support. So thank you guys so much. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
The Immune Deficiency Foundation posted a video from their CEO on their official YouTube channel, thanking Ironmouse and her community in the 2 days following her video announcement that she was leaving VShojo.
I'm Jory Berry, and I lead the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Sometimes it's hard to find the right words to say, but I'll try. I wasn't expecting Ironmouse to create the Tiltify fundraiser to benefit us, but it shouldn't have surprised me, because that's who she is. Even in the midst of challenges, she thought of us before herself.
Ironmouse was blindsided with a low blow from a major agency that was a part of so much of her streaming career, who stole from her, lied to her, when she was already told through so much of her life that she was weak, not capable of doing much, having to stay indoors through so much of her life, instead of being able to pursue her dreams. And yet, in the wake of this betrayal, she turned everything back to the cause she truly cared for. She spun webs of lies into silk, and reached for her goals, raised the money she wanted to raise. You are not determined by your weakest qualities, but by the sum of all you can create. The allegations against VShojo became a major scandal in the streaming community, and widespread. Major news. Twitch streamer Ludwig claimed that VShojo's actions were straight up an evil act.
You know, say what you will about HoloLive, but like, I mean, this is straight up an evil act. This is straight up an evil act. Like, I don't think HoloLive's business practices are good, but they are offering them quite openly, right? They're not hiding what they are doing. They're not lying about it. They're saying, hey, you can join HoloLive. You will have a floor of success with a ceiling of opportunity. In exchange, we are taking a ton of money off of your back. But, you know, maybe in the long run, it could work out for you. VShojo is saying, hey, we're like HoloLive, but we're way more fair. And also, we might just fucking scam you out of $500,000.
Moist Critical called VTuber agencies generally corrupt.
I've seen a lot of the contracts that some of the top talent were locked into with these organizations, and they are extraordinarily corrupt. I think the agencies in this space are exploitative, and they treat their talent more like prisoners. Unbelievable the depths of greed that these agencies in the VTuber space have succumbed to.
He claimed that he mistrusts VTuber agencies in general.
I didn't know too much about VShojo's inner workings. That was one of the few agencies I wasn't super privy to on like the behind the scenes of, but I'd always heard good things, but I always had skepticism because of how the industry functions at the agency level from the other ones I know. And this kind of dirty, scummy, greedy business is just so standard for these agencies in the space.
After the dust settled and Ironmouse returned to streaming, she made a statement on other agencies and people trying to recruit her, claiming that she needs some time to just be indie.
So many emails and DMs about people either asking me to join their VTuber corpo or people asking me to help me in creating my own corpo. Yeah, can you like not? How about don't do that? How about don't do that? How about no? I need a tiny bit of break. I need some time to be indie.
When it comes to how VShojo is shutting down, I personally, as someone who lacks knowledge on how a company shuts down, am confused to see the VShojo website is still up, with much of the talent that has publicly stated that they have left VShojo still listed on the website, which just doesn't feel cool, as it now associates their brand with the publicly ruined brand of VShojo, and is probably preventing them in some way from finding other representation. So ultimately, VTubers and their fan bases all came together to take down Goliath, an exploitative industry giant. United we stand, divided we fall. When each content creator came together and left the company and spoke out for other content creators who might have been in a position where they couldn't have spoken out at the time, as scary as it might have been to embark on their own and go indie without the backing of a powerful company, they did so united. Plus, this industry giant was taking their money anyways. It's not like it was in their best interest to stay. But imagine if we did that more often. If people came together when it mattered. We're weaker when we stand alone. But what if we stopped listening to the people that told us that we're weak, came together to do something and really enact change, just like Ironmouse did? You're not determined by your weakest qualities, but the sum of all you can create. This reminds me of the story of David versus Goliath, or more so Malcolm Gladwell's book, David and Goliath, Underdogs, Misfits, and the Art of Battling Giants, and an article where he talks about the real reason why David beats Goliath. Malcolm Gladwell claims it is because of, and not despite, David's size and unorthodox choice of weapon that he's able to slay the lumbering giant. One of my favorite stories that I read in school, a similar story, though we'll probably misquote it here, about a knight who has to battle a big evil beast. None of the greatest knights could beat this big beast, and also he has bad eyesight. It seems like the odds are stacked against him, and yet at the scene of the battle, every supposed disadvantage disadvantage, he uses to his advantage and is able to win the battle with this beast. All of these stories and the story of Ironmouse may have no relation, and I may just sound like a weird woman rambling, or they may all be deeply connected. Ultimately, maybe weaknesses are an illusion. Maybe all you have are strengths waiting to be discovered, not by others, but by yourself. And that's all for today's video. Stay tuned in a few weeks for a video on H3H3, and let me know what you'd like me to talk about regarding that video. Also, check out my subreddit r/exploitationexposed if you have any video topic suggestions or would like to post about social media exploitation happening online. If you like this video, please subscribe and give this video a like, and comment down below the thing that surprised you the most in the world of VTubers. It was definitely a very surprising world for me to dive into. I hope you guys are having a good start to your fall and your October, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!